Today's TMJ4, this is 4-1 Forward.
Charles, this time of year, most people are having a conversation on Sunday morning about the Green Bay Packers.
Certainly, but this Tuesday at tables all across Milwaukee, there will be a much deeper discussion of issues that can bring us all together. It's called On the Table.
And so here to set the table is Marcus White, the Vice President of Civic Engagement for the Greater Milwaukee Foundation.
So what's on the table? What does this mean for folks who want to attend?
Well, thank you, firstly. Our hope with On the Table is that you take a very simple concept that can have a big impact. So the Greater Milwaukee Foundation is inviting people throughout the region to join in tables of 8, 10, 12, over breakfast, lunch, coffee, or dinner. Talk about what they love about where they live, what they and the organizations they're part of can contribute towards building a stronger, more vibrant region, and what we all bring to the table together to spark new ideas, take new action, build relationships, and try new approaches to improving neighborhoods, communities throughout the region. So
the Chicago Community Trust started this about 3 or 4 years ago, and that's where you guys got the idea. But we really kind of wanted to get an idea of how it works. So listen in to just a snippet of what they did last year.
When you start to see as a us and a them, then it's not really a community.
You don't know the history of a neighborhood or the history of a person. Like, how can you even begin to start to care for that person or care for that neighborhood until you understand the dynamics that make it the way that it was and make that person the way that they are?
If each one of us can come up with a small solution, then I think we can bring about real change.
These are some serious conversations you're hoping that people will have. How are you making it, I guess, a safe place to have some of those tough conversations?
Yeah, that's a great question, because we do hope that the conversations are meaningful, just like we were inspired by what they did in Chicago. People will come to the table understanding that it's a respectful environment. One of the first things we talk about is that this is about civil dialogue. We're in a time right now where we all would love to get above all of the noise, all of the name calling, and have a real conversation about what we're passionate about, to hear from you about what you're passionate about, and learn what we might do together. So people come to the table with that expectation.
And food helps.
And food helps.
Right. There's good food in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of different places where these events are going to take place. You can find them on the website, On the Table, to find out where you can go and have this conversation. So who leads? Is there someone that's going to lead the conversation?
Yep. Everybody has a host. In small settings, perhaps in people's homes or in a coffee shop, there's one person who's invited some folks to come together and have a conversation.
Do you have a couple examples?
Well, what's really exciting is what they're doing through the Marcus Hotels and Resorts at the Pfister for breakfast on Tuesday. They have 30-some tables, each with a separate host. Those hosts have identified topics, wide range of topics, and those are open to the public and can be registered through onthetablemke.org.
It's Sunday morning, we can still do this?
Yep, there's 2 days to go. There's plenty of time to register to join that. Or Milwaukee is hosting an event in the City Hall Rotunda in Milwaukee. But throughout the region, things are happening in Oconomowoc, in Cedarburg, in Waukesha, West Bend. Throughout the region, there are tables, individual hosts, and then larger gatherings, but still in the spirit of sharing a meal together and sitting in a small group for meaningful conversation.
What I love, Charles, is that some of these, I don't want to say trinkets, but some of the things that you're giving away, your voice matters, with this simple notebook for people to kind of jot down what they've learned. And then tell us about the card that you have people.
So we're excited about the postcard. We're asking everybody who participates to write down their bold idea. What inspired them in their conversation? What did they learn? What do they hope we all can do together? So write it here, and then there are directions on the back to use social media platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Use the hashtag OnTheTableMKE and share your idea with the community.
So all these people show up, great ideas, great conversation. Right. Boy, they go back to work, go home. This was really neat. What happens to all of that?
Right. So we hope that the conversations continue. One of the things we're asking hosts to do is to ask the table for next steps. Who else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? How do we keep this going? So our hope is that people do learn from each other, get inspired by one another, and decide to take some next steps together. We mean it when we say your voice matters, and we are not coming in saying, have a conversation, but here's 2 things we hope you'll do. We really want to see what comes from the tables. What are people passionate about, and what's different? Because frankly, nothing's going to change if we don't do things differently. And this is a way to do things differently, to ask people to build those relationships, share ideas, and take action together. So we expect to see a lot of ideas and a lot of follow-up steps that'll come from this.
Is this new for the Greater Milwaukee Foundation, this initiative, and why?
So On the Table specifically is new, but for a long time we have had this spirit of getting people in conversation, bringing people together around an idea, but it's often been 60, 80, 100 people. Our CEO, Ellen Gilligan, has talked for some time about the important role, maybe the unique role that a community foundation can play in bringing people together. So we decided to adopt this model and try to really bring a lot of people together.
Civic engagement, it is your title, it's
Yeah.
what you do. Expectations for Tuesday, do you know? How many?
Yeah, so we are thrilled that even a week ago, we were already at about 5,200 participants.
Really?
These are happening in over 200 locations in the 4-county region. So we expect it to be even bigger than that. And you have, from the Pfister, you have Riverside High School as a site for a conversation that GE Healthcare is hosting. The Milwaukee Bucks are hosting a conversation. It is all over town and all kinds of hosts.
Well, it will be buzzing, and we will be looking forward to hearing those conversations and seeing action followed from it.
Thanks for coming to our table.
Thank you.